What's up, guys? It's Black Boss 9 coming to you with an Attack on Titan, aka Shingeki no Kyojin, mashup chapter of 63 and 64. Chains, chapter 63, and Welcome Party, chapter 64. So let's just get started. Just to say thank you guys for watching all my videos. Last day of the year, 2014. Before we go into the new year, I want to get this out and give you guys my thoughts on what I thought about both of the chapters. Now, going right into it, a lot of things happened that were interesting in this chapter, and we learn a lot about what happened to Historia's family, where her father, Rod Reese, tells her exactly what went down. Basically, who was like her sister, Frida Reese, the girl with the black hair, and her other half siblings, like her brother, her older brother, her youngest brother, sister, and then then also his wife. And at one point in that church, they were all there, and Aaron's father, he was there. Now, his reason for being there, he probably knew a lot of stuff for because the Reese family knows a lot of things about the Titans, or at least certain things about the Titans. So he's there, and he ends up becoming a Titan. We find that out. Well, we kind of been know that because of Aaron having his powers. He took it from his father. So it's crazy because from the point of view of Roy or Rod, however you want to pronounce it, they end up going to a scuffle. Frida and Roy fight, and she ends up losing, and he ends up taking the powers and killing everybody on a killing spree. But Rod Reese end up escaping. To me, it sounds kind of suspicious to me because how was he the only one to escape? I feel like he's not telling everything. There's something he's leaving out. If that's exactly what happened, to his account, then fine. It was a miracle that he escaped. But it just seems too convenient that Grisha Yeager comes in and kills off all his family. Like, there's a reason why he did all that, because after the walls broke down, he needed to take the power, and Grisha knows a lot of things. He knows something's up with this family. So that's why I believe that basement is key for Eren. I don't think if Eren is going to die in the story, who knows? I think he would die after he gets down to the basement. That the basement of his house, he has to get there because there's some information that he needs to learn. So he ends up taking the powers, and now Arad is trying to get his daughter Historia to take the powers from Eren, because all those powers locked away in Eren, the powers and the memories of Frida are locked in within Eren. And where it continues over into chapter 64, we find out that she knows everything prior to the 100 years ago of when the walls were created, and certain informations of the world before the walls existed. And it's a passed down generation through generation memories that's locked away within the Reese family themselves, because at that time 100 years ago, it was a certain Titan that ended up creating the walls and erasing or changing the memories of all the people within the walls. But only certain people are excluded from that ability, certain families. So my guess, well, in fact, I'll get to my guess of who are the families that are excluded from this Titan power. So Rod's brother, his younger brother, ends up having the power, and Frida ends up eating her uncle containing those powers, and it's up to the person to pretty much give it away or keep it for themselves. So I think that's interesting, because since Frida ate her uncle, then Grisha ate Frida, and then Eren ate Grisha. He has all the memories, because if it's a passed down thing, you know, you eat the person, you get all the memories. He has all the memories of, like, not only Frida, but I guess everyone that has been eaten. So that's interesting. And now Rob wants Historia to do the same thing. It's just kind of messed up because there's just certain things that I feel like the father's not mentioning, and Kenny is working alongside with the father, but he's kind of like, there's a little suspicion with Kenny, and we get to find out at the end of the chapter that Kenny, he doesn't really care about the father. He wanted to eat the father. He Rod, the Reese family. He, you know, is helping him to, you know, do all this stuff so that they can get the power. But he really wants the power to become a Titan and to have and his power and become the true king, because only the Reese family can use the power, the true power of the Titan. But Reese was never there when Eren used the cry power, and that's what everyone wants, that cry power where you can control the Titan. And he was saying that if Frida had used it, we would have never been in this. The father is, there's a lot of deception around the father. There's a cloak that we don't know about. He needs to die because this guy is bad news. So Kenny wants the power. Rod Royce wants Historia to take power, probably pretty much control her so that they can use it to their benefit. And we end up getting into the scuffle that happens because the garrison and the Survey Corps, they're trying to go there to save Eren. Now, this battle was kind of crazy. It was interesting because I didn't expect it to turn out that way, how they came up with the plan to use the smoke as cover, but it was pretty good. And in this chapter, we get to see that they had to kind of throw their humanity away in this battle to fight against these guys, because these guys are coming to kill. They're not going to let you live and, oh, I'm sorry. No, it's either you or them. And this puts these characters, Sasha, Coney, Sheen, in a predicament where they have to kill in order to live. And they end up killing some people, or at least what we see on camera, not on camera, but in the manga, they killed at least one person. What happened? Gene cuts a guy either in the head or the neck. Now, he cuts him in the neck, and then Coney cuts the guy in the head, and Sasha shoots the guy in the shoots the girl in the chest. She was going to kill Coney, but she shoots her in the chest. So we get to see that. So they're all getting a little bit more tainted by blood in this story. So they're growing as characters. They're actually committing. They're actually killing off people. So in this whole struggle, they're trying to survive, but the anti-personnel, what do you call it? I call it the APSS, the anti-personnel suppression. What is it? Corpse or I call it the AP SS Corp. They're the one of the women in the group, she is all for Kenny. They believe in Kenny's dream, whatever that dream is. But the thing about it is that there's a lot of deception in this world. So who's to say that, Kenny probably just told them something so that he can get them to be motivated and work on his side, and end up, once he becomes a king, he'll just, be done with them. Like, I don't need you anymore, so you can die. But Hanji ends up getting taken out in this chapter because they end up anticipating that the enemies, their maneuver gear, it's not like their 3D maneuver gear. It's a little bit different. They had the versatility of using swords. They only have the versatility of using guns. Now, you think, okay, swords versus guns, that sounds a lot better. You get longer range and a bigger impact. Swords, you have to actually work and cut your enemy and get close. But the difference with their suits is that the guns are attached to the catapults on it. So when you're shooting, the catapults is on the gun, so they don't have no cover on their backside. So wherever they go, they're going in one direction, or they're going in a frontal direction. As with the 3D maneuver gear, there's a lot more versatility where it's on their hips, so it pulls them, and they can kind of maneuver around and go different directions, and it's not really like attached too much to their blades. I think that they control it with their blades, something like that, because they have the pressure sensitivity or whatever. But because the girl ends up shooting the 2 fires at Hanji, and she knows that like you missed, but she uses that to her advantage to distract Hanji and shoot her catapult towards her, so it locks on her shoulder, pulls her, and she slams her into the wall. So I'm just like, oh damn. So Hanji's out cold, and the pretty much it's getting really crazy and hectic. A lot of the we're finding out like a lot of the members, like the leaders of the survey corps, like Darius Zackley and the guy with the bald head, man, Pixis, they don't really see eye to eye. You know, Pixis doesn't really he doesn't really want too much big conflict, because he doesn't want to risk the amounts of people that he has left, that that's left in the world. He values the number of humans. That's what he was saying. And Zackley had different ideas or different ambitions, where he, for a long time, he wanted to overthrow the monarchy, but he didn't know how he can do it. And so he was kind of playing like not on the safe side. He wants to take it down, and Pixis wants to uphold it if it's going to keep people alive. But and they come to a crossover, because Erwin was letting them know, like, pretty much, regardless, we're gonna always have conflict as people, unless it's only one person or less. Which one person or less? What, half a person? No. If there's either one person on the Earth or no persons on the Earth, there won't be any conflict. So it shows that in a tough world, dealing with people in different viewpoints, you're gonna have clashes. So that's something that we get to see, and it's displayed very well in chapter 63, and also we see it in chapter 64, because that same idea where Kenny and Roy, they have 2 different viewpoints. Roy, there's a lot of things that he's not saying, so there's a lot of deception with him. He has his own things that he wants to do, and so does Kenny. So if push comes to shove, they're going to clash. It seems like they're going to clash too. I don't know if Roy can fight. Kenny seems like a formidable foe, but he is an Ackerman. Now, what I was saying earlier about the Titan, the certain families are excluded from the Titan's abilities. So far, this is my thought. The Reeves family are excluded, of course. We don't know anything about other families, but my theory, I'm assuming the Ackerman family, because with during the chapter 64, Levi was having a certain talk with the group, and he was talking to Mikasa, because Mikasa's an Ackerman. She was saying, was there a certain moment where there was a trigger that happened for you, where you got an incredible amount of power? And she said, yeah. And he was making a reference that Ackerman had that, Kenny had that same moment in time where he had an ability a lot, like a surge of power. And the same thing happened for Levi. I still have to watch that OVA of Levi's origin, so I gotta check that out. It might tell some things about when his moment of power awakened. But that's my theory. I'm guessing that it's possible that the Ackerman family is also excluded from that power, where the Titans kind of like erase when the Titans could modify the memories of other people. The Ackerman family was also excluded. It's not confirmed. I'm not sure about that, but they seem special. They seem kind of special because only the Ackermans have had that moment, that change of power where their minds have changed or had a certain trigger. When she was younger, she had that trigger. Also, before she died, when the Titan went to go kill her, she had a certain like trigger that kind of happened, a surge of energy, and she just knew what to do. That's what Levi was saying. Kenny knew what to do once that happened. So there's something very strange and up with these Titans, and there might be more other families out there. Not sure, but um, I'm still thinking that these powers that the Titans have were, might have been, probably, I'm guessing, probably would have been stolen from a certain Titan or Titan family. Who knows? But those are my thoughts on the chapter. I thought it was a pretty good chapter. Hajime Isayama's artwork is getting better. He's depicting his chapters pretty well, and yeah, the story's going along pretty good. I can't wait to I can't wait for the next. I can't wait, but I can't wait to read the next issue or the next chapter, 65, for either January or February. So yeah, guys, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You can go to my Facebook fan page in the description box below. You can like this video if you did or you didn't, and you know. Last Attack on Titan video for this year, 2014. So this is Black Bus 91 signing out.